We had the convo with Destiny, the ANCAP professor, that ridiculous moderator, and myself, and I saw so many goddamn memes from this photo. This is an unedited photo, by the way. The song lyrics just were hovering. I know that you guys want some, like, top-tier parasocial fuel. He stumbled up to me, like, with, like, Italian handsing, and he was like, I had a phenomenal time going to the Freer Future Fest, which is the Libertarian convention held this past weekend over in Nashville, a city that I had never been to before, but upon going there, have mixed feelings about. On one hand, there's a lot of country music and cowboy hats, which, I'm not going to lie, isn't my aesthetic. On the other hand, people are friendly, and they had a cool arts fair. I'll get more to that later. I want to recap some stuff, because goddamn if parts of it weren't funny. So, I want to talk about the background to this a little bit, you know? There are a lot of little political conventions and conferences that go on around the country, and I don't go to all of them, though I get invited to many of them. The reason I don't go to all of them is because I always feel like, you know, different folks have different intentions. A lot of more conservative-leaning conferences and panels want me there so that they can provide content and clout to all the conservatives going there. You know what I mean? Like, that's one of the big things that that gets pushed. You know, Vaush is going to our thing, and then, you know, I'd go there and I'd be hounded by all these people, like, you know, they're trying to get, like, their clip with me and stuff, and don't get me wrong, I love arguing with the opposition, but I do feel bad a little bit about, like, you know, pumping up the opposition with my presence there. The reason that I went to the Freer Future Fest is because I actually got a really good faith vibe from the organizers. And, seriously, I talked to pretty much all of them. And as I understand it, libertarianism is in a really weird place in this country. I was a libertarian when I was younger, when I was in high school, and then I wasn't for a while, and now I am again, just a different kind. I think that a lot of people, when they become disillusioned with traditional mainstream politics, default to libertarianism because it feels like a really good alternative to what we consider to be like you know, strong mainstream political thought. I think that's a reason why you see such a strong libertarian trend in like young guys. You know what I mean? I think that, you know, at first you're a Republican or Democrat, whatever opinions you have, but then you see, oh, Congress never does this, and the presidents always lie, and you think, well, maybe what we need is no government. Like it's like a good like alt option, you know. But the problem is that when you actually take a look at the policy prescriptions of, like, mainstream libertarians, they're batshit fucking insane. Dissolve the federal government? Okay, dude, sure. Be like electing a socialist who, like, his one, like, government position was, I will end capitalism. Like, okay, yeah, all right. I think that the libertarian movement is something which the Republican Party has been working for decades to co-opt, you know? To a pretty, like, significant extent. The Republican Party is trying to take these, like, and a lot of them are like, you know, like young guys who are kind of disillusioned, and essentially say, you know, okay, well, maybe you can't get statelessness, but you can get lower taxes, and all you have to do is give up on all of your progressive positions. I think it's important to offer a pushback to that, and as I understand it, there's actually a decent left libertarian component to a lot of libertarian orgs in this country. Not a huge majority. They're a minority, not denying that, but it's a significant portion. The problem is they don't have much in the way of representation, because socialists, even libertarian socialists, don't go to libertarian conventions. I can only imagine why. Yeah, but if you saw those videos, I mean, I got a decent amount of applause, and not all of it was from people who came there to see me. Yeah, I had 2 panels at Freer Future Fest. I had a debate with Vaush, which was civil and respectable, and I had a conversation with Destiny and a ANCAP professor, and I'll talk about that one in a bit. I think that optically things were in our favor there, in large part because we're content creators, so we can wield large audiences to our favor. But also, when I was just walking around the venue, you know, I was getting stopped every 5 seconds. I swear to God, I could not breathe without somebody stopping me. From people who wanted to talk with me. And a lot of them were not fans of mine. You have any idea how many times I heard, like, oh, I hadn't heard about you before this event, but you sounded really great up there. Or, oh, I don't think I agree with a lot of your stuff, but I think you made some really convincing arguments. I'm being serious when I say this. I had zero negative interactions at Free or Future Fest in talking with many fans, of course, but also dozens of people who I know are not fans of mine. I think that's great. I think that's wonderful. I know that not all venues would be that kind. Oh wait, actually, there was one mildly negative interaction. It's very, very little. I was walking to and from the VIP area because that's the only area that had air conditioning. And it was very hot in Nashville. And I was walking out, and there was a woman there who was wearing a AOC dress. It was like a white dress with red print on it, like making fun of the AOC dress, and it said "taxes are theft." And honestly, whatever. Go off, queen. I walked past her, and she stopped me, and she said, and I still don't really get this, but this was after my first talk with Bastia, and she looked at me and she was like, "Congrats on having your socialism be the same ideology as neocons," or something like that. I'm probably misremembering the exact verbiage, but it was something like that, And I mean, I'm not going to argue with this woman or something. So I smiled at her and I said, "Yeah, well, socialism's all about including everyone." And then I kept walking. I don't know. What does that mean? I don't know. I'm not going to debate in the middle of a. Yeah, I'm trying to get from A to B. But that was it. That legitimately, and that was nothing. That was the closest I had to a negative interaction. Every single other one, including like boomers. There was some old 60-plus-year-old guy with a cowboy hat who talked with me for a little bit about, like, oh, I'm no socialist, but if that's what you mean, like work democracy, I get that. Like, that's like, yeah, fuck, that shit makes me feel so fucking good because the internet is so toxic and everybody is so anonymized on here that you really like lose the human element of being able to just give people good arguments. And I know that like the Free or Future Fest and other like libertarian conventions probably don't get a lot of socialist exposure, so I'm super, super happy I went. There were some people criticizing me saying like, oh, you're giving money and attention to a bad organization, whatever. First of all, in terms of giving money, between the money all of my fans gave the org paying to get there, all of that together would not equal the amount they comped me for my flight. So in terms of giving the org money in a purely mathematical, just like every sense, like I promise you, not enough of my fans went there to comp the flight ticket from Seattle to Nashville and back. Okay, so that's, yeah. So don't worry about that. In terms of giving attention, I mean, imagine like, look, the numbers don't lie, okay? This was a libertarian convention, and the two most popularized events were socialists talking. Like, okay, I think it's okay for them to have that attention. I'll allow for that, Yeah, I'll talk about the second debate. It's such a goddamn meme fest, man. The conversation with Bastiat was nice and civil. I think I disagree with him on a ton, but Bastiat's a smart guy. Like it's not going to turn to some crazy meme fest. Like certainly not in person where everyone's a little bit more calm. The second conversation, I know you guys wanted like a fuck ton of blood. I know you wanted blood, and I'm so sorry, but as much bad blood as there is between Destiny and myself, if you put us in the same room as anarcho-capitalists, we're gonna disagree with them more than we're gonna disagree with each other. It would take some spectacularly stupid spite mongering for us to like overlook the people talking about how taxes are theft and oh god, and all the shit that moderator said to snipe at each other. So yeah, anyway, for those of you who don't know, and you have to see this shit on my channel or in others, the the fucking conversation. Oh god. I don't know why the lights were so dark in the official recording because it was really bright in this room. The conversation we had, the moderator got up there and he like admitted at the beginning that he was like drunk or that he had like drank beforehand. Yeah, I can't show any more than this because yeah, TOS right now. TOS-tiny. You know how it is. Yeah, Shadowstiny projected against the back. Anyway, it was myself, the ANCAP professor, sitting between us and Destiny, and the moderator for some reason was completely unhinged. He just inject. I don't think anything much happened at January 6th. He was talking about how the COVID like thing was like a hoax or I mean, he was so fucking out there. And apparently at one point he made a rape joke, and everyone else heard it, but I didn't. It's really hard to hear people speaking into the mic sometimes when you're up there because the speakers that project the audio from the mics push forward. I can only hear like feedback from the mic and also literally like him next to me, and I didn't catch it because I was closest to him. But he made some joke about how women these days can get promoted if they just get raped by Harvey Weinstein or something like that, you know? Vaush, watch it. I have to be careful about TOS today. I don't think I can. I'll give it a try. Hold on. I cut. Oh, you cut Destiny out of the clip? Okay, cool. All right, cool. Thank you.
Agree. If Hollywood actresses wanted a job, they could just let Harvey Weinstein rape them. I don't know.
How did I miss that?
So thank you. I do have a question, actually, that's going to make the audience and the panelists kind of mad.
No laughs. Oh, man. That was a good one, dude. Good one. That was a good one, dude. Dude, nailed that one, dude. Looking good, dude. Honest to God, I felt bad for the guy after everything. I can't believe I didn't hear that, by the way. I did not hear that when I was sitting up there. I don't know if I was laughing or paying attention to something else or if I was adjusting my posture. I was so sorry. I would have dived on that one if I could have. Holy fuck. Yeah, he got booed by the audience. Yeah. Oh, the subsequent question. Yeah, hold on.
It's about race and it's about abortion. So it's a question.
What are you talking about? Dude, the audience was so fucking hostile to the mod, and I loved it, by the way, and that's good. That's good. Honest to God, after all that, I just felt bad for the moderator. I mean, he's clearly like a massive piece of shit, you know, so I don't feel bad for him on like a personal, like, moral level, you know, more like you know, the depths from which we look up into the light kind of thing. You know what I mean? It's oh God. So anyway, that conversation was phenomenal, and you should watch it on my YouTube channel, and make sure to like and subscribe. Thank you. So that was fantastic. I guess now I just want to talk about what I actually did at the event. Y'all want story time? You want me to spill the tea? That's what you want, right? That's what we're, you know, you want a yeah, tea spillage. There we go. So I got in there on what would have been, yeah, Friday. I got it on Friday, and they had like a late night sort of like top of the hotel, rent out the top floor restaurant kind of opening party, you know? And it was actually really, really nice. Now keep in mind, I know that some people might you know, scoff at this, given my relative size, but I'm totally inexperienced with this like in-person engagement stuff, because keep in mind, for as long as I've been a large figure, COVID's been a thing, you know? So I don't really have much experience in like going to these events, like, at all. I've seen JLP in person. I've gone to Tim Pool twice. I talked to Destiny in LA like 2 years ago. Like, apart from that, I mean, that's pretty much it. So I go up there and all these people are in suits and everyone wants to fucking talk to me. And it takes me a while to realize, but just by way of being a YouTuber, like, I have more clout than almost any person, any professional there, and it's so weird because I'm a fucking YouTuber, you know. So I'm like, you know, hi. That's it, fucking. And so anyway, I see Basket there. I talk with Basket. Dylan Burns doesn't come in until later in the night, so he doesn't go to the first thing. But I'm walking around. I'm talking to people. People have questions about my like moral philosophy, and I get asked so many questions about my politics at this event, and I discover, you know, much to my pleasure, that I delight in talking about this stuff in person too. Do you get tested for COVID afterwards? You have to wait a little while, but I'm getting a strip today to get tested. You have to wait like a little bit to make sure, because you know, I flew back late last night, and the airport's also like a big vector for COVID spreading, so I'll get that checked today. I hate those little nostril tickle things, you know, the strip, yeah, the little, right, the COVID testing strip. It's, you know, the little bar, whatever. Anyway, yeah. Anyway, I went, yes, the Nussie, of course. Thank you. Anyway, I went to the event, and they bought out the bar, and I got drunk like immediately. Just like that, okay? It's actually the first time I've been able to drink anything other than like a Moscato or a sweet wine. So congrats, guys. I guess I'm no longer alcohol intolerant. It took me 4 drinks. I was absolutely sloshed. I was just drinking random stuff. I thought I'd be able to get, I thought like in my head, I was like, all right, no more than 6. At 4, I was incomprehensibly drunk. I was stumbling around and stuff, you know. Eventually I realized, like, if I continue to stay at this venue, I will eventually embarrass myself. So I have to go back to the hotel room, which thankfully, I mean, we're in the hotel, so I don't have to, yeah. So, So I went to sleep at like 9 p.m. and I woke up at 2 a.m. with a vicious hangover for the first time in my life. A hangover. Normally, my strat for dealing with hangovers is you just stay awake long enough to sober up and then go to sleep. It works every time, unless you fall asleep. So I woke up with a horrible, horrible, horrible hangover at 2 a.m. I could not fall asleep again, in part because this hotel room has the worst fucking nighttime ambient lighting I've ever seen in my life, okay? So it actually has a little bit, it has a little bit of like a kitchen in the hotel room, which is awesome. But the microwave light with the clock is like blinding, and you see it no matter where you are in the bed because you can kind of see like around to the hallway where it's mounted, like facing you. The light is just this bright white fucking beacon shining directly into your eyeballs. So what I ended up doing, can you like unplug it? Nope. I tried to. The plug ran up into one of those closed aesthetic cabinets, the ones where you can't actually open them. It just runs right up into it. I would have had to destroy hotel property to actually turn it off. So in lieu of that, I used my little lint roller, you know, the thing that you roll over your clothing to get like cat hair and stuff off of it. I used the lint roller to roll like a little bundle and then like stick it right on. And I was able to dull the light like 90% or something. It's partially translucent, but that was the best I could do. Unfortunately, that was not the worst light. The worst light was the fire alarm directly above my bed, visible at every angle, even if you swap where you put your head, so you lay your head at the foot of the bed, literally no matter what angle you're at. And there were two little beeping lights on it that you can't cover with that tape because they're like sort of recessed into a little divoted outlet which has slots on the side, so the light will come out from all angles no matter what. And it was just like, ugh, you had to lay sideways to like not look at it. But when I have a hangover or when I have a headache, I don't ever lay on my side. Whenever I have a headache, I lay on my back with my arms sort of over my forehead because the pressure helps with the headache. So I either had to lay my on my back and just have that light like anytime I open my eyes, or I had to lay on my side and worsen the headache. It was a really shitty. I was up for 6 hours with a headache. Didn't you bring your headache medication? No, but they sold some at the hotel that I got on my way out. Anyway, I ran out, and I was, thankfully, I still had enough energy, because I was worried, you know, like, what if I don't have enough energy to do these debates? You know, I don't want to do, like, poorly. If you're too tired, that's kind of like being drunk, you know? It really affects your ability to actually do this stuff. But I was totally fine. And I went through the event, and the debate with Vaush was good. I walked around, talked to people. I took so many fucking photos. So many goddamn photos with you guys. Dozens and dozens of fans. Which was a really good time. Thank you guys for coming out, by the way. I really appreciate that. You know, I shook hands with a lot of people. It's the first time in my life that I have ever like been standing around with a crowd of dozens of people waiting to talk to me, and I have no idea how to manage that, like socially. It's a very difficult thing, sort of intuitively to manage. You know, like you're just standing there, and like a bunch of people want to talk to you. You can't talk to everyone at the same time. That's not really possible. So you just have to choose people arbitrarily, and you're like, you forward. Yeah, yes. They don't know how to handle that perfectly, but yeah, it's, you know, it's a good good opportunity to demonstrate your ability to navigate those situations. And yeah, of course, you all made fun of me for using the exact same face in every single photo. Thank you kindly. I'm just not that used to smiling for pictures. Thank you. You know, just I'm just giving people the consistent experience, all right? And by the way, you can ask any one of these motherfuckers in person. I was smiling and laughing and chatting with all of these people. But if you take a photo of me, I make this face, okay? I'm sorry. But seriously, if any of you were there in person, you can confirm that I was perfectly energized and engaged. Why though? I don't fucking know. Yeah, I'm just not good at forcing smiles. I smile fine when I'm laughing. It's just, yeah. Oh yeah, you guys, you know, you guys were complimenting me for the drip, and I appreciate that. I was tempted to not go in the full suit because I didn't want to be overdressed. But then I did go in the full suit, because I wanted to, you know, and that's kind of how it panned out. Hold on really quickly. I need to blow my nose. I don't actually have a paper towel with me. So appreciate this picture. No dog posting. I'm only gone for a second. Yeah, I look look kind of pretentious with my hands sort of on the, you know, the you know, the suit. But anyway, yeah, I felt pretty good. I also, you know what I kind of want to do? I'm skipping ahead a little bit with the story, but I want to learn to be a ring guy, okay? I picked up a nice ring that I really like at an art festival afterwards before heading on the flight back. And I feel like as long as I'm doing like the Bond villain shit with the fucking red suit and I like turtlenecks and whatever, like if I like I feel like rings complement the, you know, the aesthetic a little bit. You'll have to see. I like stone rings a lot. I think those are really cool. Is that something you need to learn? I think you have to learn to be a ring guy a little bit, don't you think? Yeah, I'll show the orbs and the turtle. Don't worry, don't worry. So, anyway, I talk with a lot of fans. There are people coming up to me asking, like, to interview me. I do an interview with a guy that lasts an hour. We have a really good conversation. I'm talking with, like, organizers. Seriously, every 5 feet. Oh, and by the way, I'm not trying to do no drama shit talking or nothing, but y'all remember GOTHIX? GOTHIX was that person I've only interacted with once. She did a thing with Ariel Scarcella. I think I called her, like, racist. Then she made a video, like, 8 months later saying that I was afraid to debate her or whatever. Something like that. She was one of the speakers at the event, and she was avoiding me so fucking hard the entire time. Apparently, like, she was like incredibly adamant on not talking to me to the point where she was like, I think talked to Dylan Burns and was like, yeah, I'll do stuff with you, but like not with Vaush, like no matter what. And like at points I was walking and talking with the organizers. We went to a bar where she was sitting at, and like we sat down there, and she got up and left with her friends. It's like, oh my god, holy shit! I'm not gonna fucking debate you in person. I'll just say hi and shake your hand, okay? Jesus Christ, I'm just here to get free food, thank you. Of which I got a lot, by the way. A lot. I got a lot of free food. And we'll get to more of that, don't worry. Yeah, anyway, it was really fucking funny. It's too bad because, you know, I thought it would have been, you know, kind of fun, I think, to have that conversation. Well, anyway, after all that, we had the convo with Destiny, the ANCAP professor, that ridiculous moderator, and myself. And guys, look, I'm really, 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 really sorry. I know that you guys want some like top tier parasocial fuel. We just don't like each other, guys. I'm sorry. You're not gonna get much more. There's only so much content you're gonna be able to milk from that. Though I did see, by the way, so many fucking memes from this photo. I saw so many goddamn memes from this photo. I was sitting. Oh wait, yeah, TOSNE. Sorry, it's fine. It's just a photo. That could have been anyone. Yeah, there we go. Sorry, we can't show. Yeah, I was sitting there waiting for the thing to start, and he just saddled up next to me. Yeah, that was Destiny's friend. He just sat next to me, and we had like 90 seconds next to each other before we went up on stage, you know? Do you talk? I asked him when he got his hair cut. Because the last time I saw a photo of him, he had like wild, scraggly hair. You know what I mean? But he showed up with like pretty much a perfect fade in the beard. So he must have gotten it really recently. But that's, yeah. Yeah, there we go. There's nice socializing. Then we went up there, and we debated after we shook hands, didn't say much, and yeah. Did he answer? Yes, he answered. He didn't fucking ignore me. Jesus Christ. When I say that I asked that question, yeah, the implication is that he did answer. I'd let you know if he just stared at me with like dead bug eyes and then turned back to his phone. Dude, by the way, credit where credit's due. Dude has been working out. He looks way different in person than he did like back in like March of last year. Definitely a change there. You know, I guess both, you know, physically. Maybe my weight is going on to him. I don't know. You know, there's a transfer of some kind taking place. Anyway, so we did the debate, and then afterwards, you know, a bunch of people, they wanted to go out for dinner, right? And Nashville was packed because like the Rolling Stones were doing a concert, and like there was Oktoberfest shit going on all over the place. But we couldn't go to any events that were 21 plus because Dylan Burns is 20. So we took some time trying to find a place that would work. And we gathered up like multiple groups going in multiple directions, and eventually everything got consolidated, and the group was like 15 people or something. I chilled in the VIP lounge because it was the only place that had real air conditioning, and I think Destiny was at like the wine testing place, because when we all grouped together, Destiny was sloshed. He was fucking wasted, dude. He was worse off than I was the night before. It took him no time. He was left alone for like 15 minutes and he got fucking, he was lost. He stumbled up to me like with like Italian handsing and he was like, you know, I fucking hate you, but I'm drunk. And then he like smiled at me or something. You know, happy drunks won't complain. He anyway, eventually we rounded up all the cats and we set out looking, and the place we thought we were going to go to, which we walked to, it was we were lied to. It was not allowing people under 21 there. So also they required vaccine cards to go in, which I don't have a problem with conceptually, but of a group of 15 people from all over the country with different state laws all over the place concerning vaccine cards, the likelihood of all of us having our cards on us at that same time, yeah. So, you know, a little difficult there managing that. I, of course, like a responsible citizen, had my vaccine card on me. Thank you. Anyway, it doesn't matter because Dylan wasn't 21. So we walked around and I took the lead and I found another place we could go to and I brought us there and they had, God thank it, they had waiting tables outside, big waiting tables where we could get drinks while waiting for proper tables out there in the patio. Which we eventually got. And oh, the waiting tables is where we got this, by the way. That photo where there are two separate tables of Destiny drunkenly lying face down on one table and me leaning down on my phone on the other. This is an unedited photo, by the way. The song lyrics just were hovering. Destiny's friend, sorry. Was that American Nacho one of those photos? Yes, American Nacho and his wife were there. Yeah, his wife or fiance? I think wife. I forget. I've got memory blindness. It's when you forget everything. A lot of people win, actually. I don't want to list everyone because I'm gonna like, I know I'm gonna forget people. But of the people you guys might know, obviously Destiny, myself, Bastia, Dylan Burns, Kat was there. Oh, one of the organizers was there as well, and her brother. I know how you all were referring to her in side chat. The mommy, the preposterously attractive woman who introduced the debate Destiny and I had. That was the term which I was given. Scene. Who here knows, right? Am I being adequate in describing the here? Okay, let me see if I find like a screen cap from this video. I don't know if she's included here. Anyway, she was one of the organizers, and she was super cool to talk to, by the way. Super chill. Let me see if I can. Nah, she's not in my video. I'd have to find some other video. But anyway, she was one of the orgs, and she was super cool. And we all had a great time, I think. That, by the way, that restaurant that we went to had an Elvis burger. It had peanut butter, mayonnaise, bacon, American cheese, meat and patty. And I got it just because I wanted to try it out, you know, because what do you want to do? Live forever? And I'm not going to lie, it was a little bit much. You know, I think it would have been tolerable if the mayonnaise was spread evenly the way the peanut butter was, but it wasn't. The peanut butter was spread evenly. The mayonnaise was pooled in a dollop right in the center, which meant that I got a fairly well-proportioned burger bite, like up until the center. You know, it was like some peanut butter, but it's just fine. Peanut butter and bacon aren't a bad combo. And then I just got this massive fucking tangy mayo bite, you know, like, yeah, I physically shivered when I bit into that. So that we could have gotten some fair distribution there. I got a second burger though, you know. Oh, by the way, we're back to Fat Ian. Sorry, folks. 8 months of working out, it's all over. I ate so much food while I was over there. So much goddamn food. We're back to it. Yeah, we're back to being peepo fat. You know how it is. But anyhow, we were out till about 10 p.m. But I didn't want to be out too late because I caught shit sleep the other night. So past the point, I said goodbye to folks. I said here's for you parasocial Andes, my final words to Destiny. We shook hands, and then I walked back to the hotel. And goddamn did I pass out. And the next day, we had a goodbye lunch, which was really great. They had some of the best cornbread that I've had in a long time, too. Really good cornbread. Which is surprising because normally when they make enough cornbread to like feed a big they rented out the second floor of a restaurant in the main strip of Nashville. So there was like country music being played live down on the first floor, and the second floor, you know, they had like they had brisket and cornbread and shrimp and rosemary potatoes, and fuck, it was good. Fuck me, that's such good. I know it kills like your cholesterol, but holy shit, like Southern American, like the American South, like breakfast food, like holy shit. God damn. That'll kick you right in the ass. Anyway, it was really good, and I talked to a bunch of folks, and I had a good time there. We took a big group photo. Did you enjoy the Libertarian rap? I was on my phone when that all happened. That was after the debate. That was all real good. And then after that, what were the final words? I just said, had a good night. He returned the sentiment, and then he said, stay safe. And I said, thank you. That's literally it. I'm sorry, guys. There's not much blood to be milked from the stone. But anyhow, after that, I decided to hang out a little bit because I had some time before my flight with Dylan Burns, Kat, and anyway, we had a really good time, and we went to like this arts festival that was taking place because it was Sunday, and I got some fun stuff, including that ring that I put on earlier, but I also obtained the orbs and a turtle. So it's a turtle. See? Turtle. Camera. Turtle. Camera. Camera. There we go. I thought it was made of copper, but Vermin said it's made of bloodstone, which is copper looking. Anyway, I think it's shiny, which is what matters. And I also obtained orbs. Now, as you can see, these are very powerful. They're carved wooden orbs. This one looks like the moon, and I just like how this one looks. It looks like I don't know, a convex flower. Ain't they cute? They remind me a little bit of Outer Wilds. And I also took a look at a great deal of jewelry, as long as I'm out there being gaudy. And, you know, I got this as a nice, good starting ring. You know what I mean? I really like stone rings. I always thought, like, I mean, if I'm wearing, like, a red suit with a black turtleneck, wouldn't it look sick as fuck if I was wearing, like, black and gray rings? Like gold trim or something? I don't know. I think that looks super sick. But I don't like gemstones, you know, like thin rings with like a big gem. I think those look gaudy and ostentatious. I like rings that look very strong, like thick bands, you know. Just a personal preference. Anyway, wrapping all this up because I feel like I have thoroughly summarized the events of the past 3 days or so. I had a really great time. It was a lot of fun. It's also very tiring. And my main regret, the biggest regret of all, is that I didn't take the time to break in my new Alden dress shoes a little bit more beforehand, because the back heel is a little tight. I need to get it stretched out by a cobbler. I had my heels chafed to the fucking bone, walking around for 14 hours on Saturday. Yoicks. I bet you have blisters. Blister! My right foot got it, my left didn't. But thankfully, you know, unless I'm going to one of these conferences, I don't go outside, so I have plenty of time to heal. You know how it is. Do we feel like we learned a lot? Do you all feel sufficiently parasocially acclimated? It's like you guys were there. Huh? It's like you guys were there. Can you talk about your debate with Vaush yet? Some of the issues of the debate? What issues do you think what issues do you think there were with the debate with Vaush yet? No coconut analogy? We had coconut water up there. Vaush brought those. You and Vaush just talked past each other? Oh, debates aren't about addressing the other person's points. Debates are about getting as many talking points out to the audience as possible. I did the best as I can with the format. And I think that it's as much as you can do given that setting. With the Vaush conversation, see, my goal when I'm talking to a very mixed audience like that isn't to critique specific elements of capitalism necessarily, because I think those critiques are oft heard. Oh, thank you, Lonerbox, for the raid. I really appreciate that. Those critiques are oft heard, I think, by people even remotely familiar with socialist arguments. And folks on the left are really, really good at critique, aren't they? I mean, that's what we're known for. That's what Marx was, a critic, more so than anything else. I think what people on the left struggle with a little bit is building a strong affirmative picture of what the world can look like after our critiques are implemented. And that's something that I really want to focus on when talking to audiences that probably aren't super familiar with left rhetoric. Not about what's wrong with this system, but rather like what the other side could look like, what the other system could look like. And that's why I was trying to focus a lot on, well, this is one of the reasons why people accuse me from the left of being like this incrementalist liberal, you know? While I agree strongly with a lot of philosophical arguments that like hardcore anarchists will make, I think that when you're talking to people, it's really important that they have an understanding of how like structurally some of these things could be implemented. Have you guys ever read the quotes that like people will post, like the very anarchist or the very communist people on Twitter or whatever, where the quotes are like really based, like they're really good, but then you think about it for a second, you're like, okay, but how would that look if done in the real world, you know? Right? I mean, that's kind of hard to figure out, isn't it? Sometimes. Um, yeah, but how do we do that exactly? There are answers to those things, but usually they involve a fuck ton of theory. So I try to focus on stuff that I think is a little bit more directly relatable. No, socialism doesn't mean destroying our economy necessarily, at least not destroying it in the negative ways a lot of people tend to think. And no, socialism doesn't mean, you know, some violent dictatorial uprising of, you know, bloodthirsty proletarians looking to feast on the bodies of their former bosses, necessarily. It's about that pragmatism. And I also focused a lot, you guys probably noticed, both in my convo with Vaush and later in my conversation with Destiny, I focused a lot on city planning. Because the city planning angle is something that I'm learning a lot about. Have you guys noticed that, like, videos which critique the capitalist elements of city planning are really popular on YouTube? Adam Something does it, like, really well, but also, like, Just Not Bikes and like, Echo Gecko, of course. I mean, it's like, when you look at these videos, it's like what they're talking about fundamentally is the way in which corporate interests have fucked the livability of our cities. Yeah, Second Thought has talked about, like, yeah, or not just bikes, sorry, not just not bikes, not just bikes, thank you. Do Not Eat as well, yeah. And I think it's a really relatable, like, socialist argument because I mean, we all live in cities, right? We're very familiar with how this all pans out. So it's something that we have a direct relationship to. And with regards to my conversation with Destiny and the ANCAP professor, to me, it was more about, I realized about midway through the conversation that I should switch tone a little bit because past a certain point, I think Destiny and I were both talking about how good welfare is or whatever. And when you reach that point, like, I don't know if I'm reaching the libertarian audience as much. Like, at that point, I might be playing to the fans of mine in my audience, you know? Who I know will agree with me no matter what I do. I could, like, shit on stage and you guys would clap for me. So I try to switch gears a little bit and focus on focus back on the initial point, which was an advocacy for positive liberty, you know, which I think is a really good talking point in those crowds. So yeah, paste and shit pilled. Yeah, true, 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 true. Very true. Oh God. Donate 10,000 if you do that right now on carpet? You got to be kidding me. You goofballs. You goobers. You goobers. At one point you did a great America Good moment. It was awesome. Yeah, when I was talking about vaccination rates, about how European countries are outpacing us because we got an initial spike, but we have so much vaccine hesitancy in our country that there are other countries that got vaccines later than us who are now outpacing us by, like, significant gaps. Yeah. Yes, guys, I've seen the Chud Logic clip. Calm down, it's fine. It's fine. Did you and Professor Brian Kaplan hang out? No, I'm afraid not. Sorry. The quartering would shit on the floor. Just one of many ways in which he's a better content creator than me. Sorry. I wish I could live up to the standards that he has set for all of us.